and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ad America. My name is Ganara, one of the e-guides here in Ad America. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful evening today. And if you are new here, Ad America is the US Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn more about the United States. Today, we will be continuing our session of Learn from Influencer Stars, Session 6, The Power of Hope, Student Power. But before we start this evening's event, I have a little fun fact for you. And the fun fact is, did you know that nowadays, more than ever, consumers and online users are choosing to listen to each other over brands? That's why influencers and influencer marketing are so powerful. They are trusted individuals with loyal followings across digital platforms. All right, now without further ado, let me introduce you to our moderator for this evening's event. She is Yasmin Anissa Nuha, Global Young Influencer of Plan International. Kak Yasmin, the stage is yours.
Thanks to Ara for welcoming me tonight. Good evening, everyone from Ad America. Welcome to Learn from Online Influencer Stars, the Power of Hope Student Power Session. Glad to have everyone here joining from everywhere and ready to learn and rock from the session. I'm Yasmin, I go by pronoun she, her, and I'm a global young influencer at Plan International. I was also a youth mentor for ASEAN Youth Organization Ambassador, an alum for Wisely Good Governance and Civil Society 2020. Tonight, I will be serving as your moderator. Before we start the session, please give us love on our platforms and don't forget to also send us questions for our amazing speakers tonight. Today, we have Kak Parama Suteja, an educational content creator who actively shares education advice through his content on Instagram. He is also currently pursuing a master's degree in architecture at Harvard University Graduate School of Design. He received the Eisner Prize in 2018 for the highest achievement in the creative art in architecture at UC Berkeley. And he is also an architecture BA from University of California. He is here to get us ready to aim high and hit the mark. Hello Kak Parama. Hello Kak Parama.
Hello, Kak.
Hello, how's everything going?
Everything is going well.
Everything.
It's currently morning in Boston.
Oh yeah, it's very early there ya Kak Parama ya.
Quite early. It's quite early.
We are very happy to have you here today, and we are very ready to learn from you. Kak, mind to tell us more about yourself?
Okay. First of all, I would like to say thank you for Ad America who created this event and invited me to be one of the speakers for the series of the seminar and webinars. And thank you also for all the audience who are presents today, and I hope that the things that I'm sharing today could be helpful and useful for each and every one of us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much Kak Parama. Kak Parama, hari ini we are going to talk about education, to talk about the power of you as an education content creator. Kita feel free ya Kak, Kakak boleh balas pakai bahasa Indonesia atau bahasa Inggris, it's up to you. Yang nanya nanti juga boleh pakai bahasa Inggris atau bahasa Indonesia. Oke Kak, we're going to get to the talk show. First of all Kak, who inspired you sih Kak to become an education influencer? Kalau misalkan bukan a who, then a what? Or where do you get the idea or the motivation? Mind to tell us?
Yeah, it was actually unplanned at first, nggak sengaja jadi. So, I was accepted to 11 schools and received scholarship offer from 7 schools. And I was just like, I posted that on my Instagram just for celebratory and show my gratefulness for the opportunity. But then I did not realize that it became viral in Indonesia. And so a couple of people started to ask me, how do I get there, like to 11 school? How do you get to Harvard and all these schools with scholarship? At first, I replied to them one by one. So like 10 people, I still reply, 20 people, I still reply. But then more people ask me, like 50, 100, and even thousands of people. And then I was thinking like, oh, there could be another way to like help these people other than just like sending message one by one, right? So I made a video, a YouTube video explaining of how I got to these 11 universities, and that one also got viral and lead me to my first collaboration with one of Indonesia's educational content creator, Jerome Polin, and that leads me into like this influencer world. I was like, oh, which I found quite interesting and impactful. So far, I've been enjoying it and doing it passionately, and I'm hoping that through this platform, I could um, positively impact more people. Thank you.
All right, that's very inspirational. So at first, it's because you are accepted at 11 high ranks university, and people keep asking you, and then you kind of like, oh my god, it's a lot of people. So after that, you're trying to reach them out like generally, ya, berarti ya.
Yeah, I'm trying to reply them. Hopefully, I can answer them, but
Yeah.
I don't have the capacity to reply thousands of people at one.
Right. It's actually very interesting that many people loves your they are motivated by you, right? Yeah. So
Mhm.
what makes you choose social media content, especially videos? I think most of your
Mm,
contents are videos, ya, Kak, ya. What makes you
yes,
choose videos to amplify your messages?
I see. Well, that's a good question. So I understand that there are multiple ways to have audience. For example, you could have a blog, you could have videos, you could have more like seminar and webinars like what we're doing right now. And to me, I am doing more like the video part and like seminar and webinar because I feel like it for me I better explain myself through visually and through words that I describe directly. So I feel like video has the capacity to um, transfer the message that I want to give out to people, and that's why I really enjoy making videos. And other than that, for even before I start doing influencing, back in high school or junior high school, I also made video, like a lot of video. I was in the team of like a community TV for my high school as well, and I feel like it's just my passion for the past years. So I really enjoy making videos.
Ah, I see. So for you, it's more comfortable to share the message from the videos, ya, Kak, ya, berarti ya, Kak.
Yes,
Okay, so
yes, and I feel like it's the best way to convey my message, basically.
okay, so it feels natural for you in a video, ya, berarti.
Yes,
Alright, Kak. Nah, kan we see a lot of your contents. I see a lot of your contents too. I like
thank
them
you.
all too, most of it.
Thank you,
Uh,
thank you.
how to develop your skill on researching? Kan pasti kan kalau you wanna make a video, especially to I saw about the Samsung, I saw about the chairs in Harvard, and oh yeah, that's really creative. Like how do you develop your skill on researching, and where do you start?
Yes. There are multiple ways that we could research for our content. For me, I also have my own team, like research team and um, the content creation writing team, and we usually have a discussion every few weeks or every month to discuss what kind of content do we want to approach. And through that, we would propose a few options that we want to go with. And from that, we would research from the internet. And as you know, Nick, like this, we're living in this internet era, and it has been way much easier to earn information rather than, let's say, 20, 30, 50 years ago. So there's no reason for us to say like, oh, it's hard to find some information because for now, almost like we can almost find everything on the internet. And yeah, so having I would say it's a combination of having a good, solid research team, and also having a combination of finding a good resources to find good content video for our content creation.
Ah, okay. Oh, so you have your own team too, yeah? Your creative team. You have your
Yes.
creative team. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Now, how you determine your niche at first? Like, okay, I know I'm in educational. Maybe you say, okay, I know I'm in educational content. So, what are my niche? How do you actually, specify it?
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good question as well. For me, when I start, I understand that I started from a niche who are passionate about school admissions, studying abroad, and also scholarships. And then I realized that that's also a one niche, like a one pie, like a piece of pie. But I was thinking, how can we reach out to more people? That's why if you saw my one few my contents when I was showing, for example, the Samsung thing or the brands, or sometimes I was showing like the funny sides of Harvard, like the cool and the interesting sides of Harvard. Those are the things that is not quite related to scholarship and school admission. However, it it reaches out to different niche, and back then we're not sure yet. Oh, what kind of niche will it get? However, they actually reach out to more people, which amplifies our impact. And now, for example, parents of the students are also watching us, and also, for example, um, people who are not interested at studying abroad but would love to see the life in America. They also watch our content, and so we have kind of diverse niches of people, which are not just students but also a variety of people from different spectrums. That's how we might describe our niche right now.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting. That's very interesting because at first I know that you are only doing this school thing about like going to UC Berkeley, going to Harvard. But when I scroll, I saw, oh my God, there is Samsung. Oh, this is interesting for me. And I saw this
Mhm.
chair. Yeah, I saw this chair thing about Harvard, and I'd
Yeah.
be like, I just knew this, and that is actually really captivating and really capturing
Oh,
some,
thank you, thank you.
some of our attention ya. Karena nggak semuanya mungkin punya kecondongan untuk seperti yang tadi Kak Parama bilang
Yes.
ya, untuk tentang
Yes.
school only. So you
Mm.
also have fun. You also have fun niches as well. Okay.
Yes.
Nah Kak, kalau based on your perspective nih, kayak how do you blend your creativity? Because I saw your videos, that's very creative. Like whoever thought
Thank you.
about chair in Harvard, right? Okay, and then how do you blend your creativity, your technical skill, your knowledge and concentration, and also your attention to detail in creating your content?
I see. Wow, that's an interesting question. How to blend creativity, technical skill, knowledge, and attention to details. Well, first of all, I got my attention of detail mostly from the architecture school because it requires so much attention of detail. So you gotta have that in order for you to excel in the program. Um, and then in terms of creativity and technical skills, uh, I w- I really enjoyed learning from other people. So before I started my research, I would also research about the other people. What are the things that other people are doing? And from that, I would learn them. Oh, these are the things that works, and these are the things that doesn't work. So after that, um, I started to think, how can I translate this successful content into my own type of content that works for Indonesian audience and my niche. And from that, that's like the one of the few techniques that I use to research about the content that I'm using. And also, if you're asking me for the technical skill itself, I, in addition to speaking at webinars and seminars, I actually also join seminar and webinars for even like for content creation, even for the technical skills of how to make videos for content creator, and because like as a human, we still have to learn day by day. We're never stop learning, right? And that's why in addition to like giving content and also topics on a webinar, I also learn from multiple seminar and webinars as well to enhance my technical skills and knowledge.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, we all agree to that. Yeah. So sometimes we say, oh my God, how can these people be so creative? How can Kak Parama be so creative? So it's a whole learning process juga ya Kak ya. Berarti
Yes,
because
it
you
is.
learn from everyone, you keep learning so that you become creative. Okay, that's very inspiring. Okay, nah Kak, sekarang tadi kan you talk about akhirnya ngebuat konten itu biar lebih fit sama kakak gitu kan ya, lebih fit sama karakter kakak, lebih fit sama audience kakak. Dan what is your authentic way to engage with your audience?
Hmm.
Is there any authentic way that you do to engage? Do you misalkan, do you do Q&A a lot, or do you do this or
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes, that's a good question as well. Yeah, well, that's one of the reason why I also use Instagram actively to engage with my audience, because I feel like it has the first, most of my audience are, some of them are there, and also I feel like um there are the some some of the things that can be used to engage with audience better. So for example, like what you just mentioned, which are the, like for example, the polling and the Q&A box in Instagram, which I haven't really find on other platforms that works really well. Um, so uh, you can actually tell, for example, when you put this is more about the technical stuff on the influencer part. But let's say if you put a question box on a story, people would actually watch your story more rather than if you just post some random things without any interaction. That's what I learned. So it's a good way if you would like to increase your engagement with people and also to authentically be closer to with your um, audience. We should start to make um, some polling or question and answer that would be helpful to more people. For example, like a few days ago, for example, or a few weeks ago, I asked people, "Oh, what kind of video do you guys want to see?" And then from that, people would start sharing their ideas, like, "Oh, I want to see this." And in addition, that you get that authentic engagement, you also learn more about your audience, and that way you can give back more to your audience and can impact give an impact to your audience more. So I think that's one of the way that I found really strong and useful in terms of engagement with the audience.
Alright, so you maximize all the Instagram feature ya Kak ya.
Yes.
You're trying to communicate with them ya. Jadi nggak satu arah, not
Yes, for
them
sure.
asking you, but you are
Yes.
asking them as well. Okay,
Yes.
yes, that's a really good. That's a kind of like a briefing juga buat kakak dan tim juga ya Kak ya. Jadi sebagai masukan gitu ya. Okay, that's
Yes.
very interesting. Okay, okay Kak. Now, what are the benefits and challenges of becoming an influencer? Maybe for the past years you face many challenges. Okay, maybe we can start with your challenges at first, and then after that, what are the benefits
Okay.
that you get?
Okay. Start from challenges. So far, I have been enjoying this. But if I can take one of the challenges would be maybe when you put yourself out there as someone that speaks about your idea, there would be people who disagree with your idea and perception, and you should be ready to listen to what they say because they are in the comment section and it's unfiltered, so they can say whatever they want, right? So at first, when I see some strong disagreement, when during my early phase, I was like, oh, wow, I did not know that people can react strongly about this. For example, so um, at first I was like, I felt hurt. As for my first few days and weeks of becoming viral. However, I understand that when you have a voice, there would always some pushback. But you should understand if your intention is good and positive, that's okay. Because what you're giving out is like 99.9% people like it, and just 0.0001% haters who would always hate someone no matter what, although you're giving something positive. You should just accept it. And if they give you some constructive comments, like a constructive comment that would help you further improve your content, you can learn from them too. So I guess that's one of the biggest first challenge that I face. And then if you ask me, some of the benefits would be, I think the most important thing that, and the most important thing and the thing that I really appreciate of becoming influencers would be I could meet a lot of people that I haven't never talked to and meet before. For, I wouldn't be able to, let's say, meet some of my other influencers friends if I'm not an influencer at the first place. So it's really nice that you could expand the circle of friend that you have, and also learn more about people, and more. And additionally, one of the most important thing is that you can be impactful to other people. You can make their life better. So, for example, a few months ago, I made a one-on-one online mentorship for free for my audience, and then I selected some of them based on their um, interactions with me, and their opinion on the comment section in my contents. So few after that, a few months after 1 year, 2 year, they started to get into some schools that they wanted to, and some of them even got scholarship. Even yeah, some of them even got a full tuition scholarship, which really touched me. And after that, I was so happy because I did not know at first what's gonna be like. What if I give this to other people? What it's gonna be? Is it gonna be impactful? Is it how is it gonna affect them? And then you never know. Like in 1 2 years, they come to you and say, "Oh, thank you so much, Kak Parama. I got to this school and I got full tuition scholarship because of you." Oh, I think that's the most valuable things that I've received from my audience.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I totally agree. I think we all totally agree that when we have voices, it's there's always something that will push you back. Yes,
Yes.
yes, and also it's really happy to know that your impact definitely goes beyond the way and all the past years sampai ada yang Kabar Rama, I finally got into this school. Yay! I'm actually really.
Yeah.
Tapi benar kak, I think ya benar. I think the way you present yourself out there, the way you amplify yourself, it definitely very impactful to many youth, especially those who wants to go to school, to their to their dream school and all, and maybe. I don't know. Maybe one day they will be like one of you too. They will be your influencer and then meet you
Hopefully,
somewhere, right? Okay.
yes.
Oke Kak, nah, oke sekarang kan you are, okay, you got your bachelor in the US too ya?
Yes.
Okay, and then now you are in the US too. So how has your experience in the USA helped you to become the person you are standing now? Like how does it shape you personally?
Hmm, that's a good question. How does it shape me? Well, for me, I'm really thankful that I started my educational journey and I grew up in Indonesia. Um, and then up until my college year, I started to learn in the US. And here, I think some of the most valuable things that shaped me would be back in the days I like to read books, and when I read those books, sometimes you are really inspired by the author, right? And I would never forget about this. But one of the book that I really like, um, which teach me about some architectural techniques. And the interesting part is that when I got to Berkeley, I actually have the author to be my professor in UC Berkeley back then. So those learning experience when you learn from your idol, like someone that you really admire, really inspires you and would shape you really well to be someone that I'm currently standing, and and yeah, we're still having a good relation, and up until today, like those teaching from all my mentors has been really influential in shaping me to become who I am today. I think that's how
Uh,
I see it for now.
okay, so it's about the mentorship that you got there, ya kak ya,
Yes.
that shapes you here. Okay, kak. Okay, nih kak, how to become an online influencer while you are being a student? How do you balance academic life with online influencing? That's a lot of work. Okay, how?
Right. Um, this yeah, people ask me this all the time. Especially, I'm doing architecture, so
Yes.
if you can tell, there are not many influencer from architecture student. Do you know why? It's because we go home at 12 a.m. We go home at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., usually making our physical model. We are doing our drawings. Go home at 4 a.m. Blah blah blah. Um, that's why people were like quite confused. Oh, how do you manage your time? Because I know architecture school is very hard, especially your at Harvard, which is even harder. So how? So I realized that people work based on deadlines. So there's this law called Parkinson law, which mentions that the work expand by the times allowed for it. What does it mean? So it means that when you have so much time, you would spend a lot of time working on something. But if you only have a very short time, then you are forced to do that thing really fast. So that's literally what I do. When I work, I make a fake deadline to my work. Let's say this architecture homework, it is the deadline is in 2 days, but I would say the deadline is only in 4 hours. So I would have to do it in 4 hours right now, for example. And then the video, if I want to post it in the next 3 days, I, I would only say I would only make this video for 2 hours and then be done with it. So you should start to make your own fake deadlines so that um, you can earn the most efficient way to amplify your time and maximize your efficiency, and that way you can do many things at once in a day. That's how I did.
Okay, so making like fake deadlines is definitely working ya. Jadi kita jadi kayak oh I think I have to finish it right now gitu ya kak ya.
Yes.
Okay, okay kak. Before we got to the Q&A session, we have a lot of questions. Many people excited for to ask you. Why is it important sih kak menurut kakak for young people or students like youth ya to be heard online?
Well, that's a good question. So for me, there as a student, our voice are quite limited, as in as we can see, most of the people who occupies, let's say, the TV, televisions, or adults, for example. So there could be ways or options that or action that we could do to amplify the voices of the youth generation, because I feel like giving different perspective and would give them also an interesting perspective that they could consider. That's why I feel like it's very important. Yeah, I genuinely think it is important for the youth generation to also have a voice, um, to speak out about what they think, and that way we could make the best environment that could accommodate not just the adults but also the youth generation and the younger generations, basically.
Okay, so it's because when you are voicing out your voices, then you will be accommodated well ya kak ya berarti ya.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Now we go to the Q&A session. This is really
All right.
interesting. Many people has asked. Okay, okay, oke. Kak, ada yang nanya nih kak. Konten apa yang paling disukai sih kira-kira oleh followers Kak Parama selama ini kakak research, mungkin maybe dari your engagement or your insights, which one do you think that people are most likely to interact?
Yes. That's a good question. There are a few, I think. I cannot decide just one, but like, for example, the scholarship and my study method. One of my I have a video called how to get a first rank, and it got
Okay.
quite viral. Basically, I was teaching them, oh, this is how I got rank number one for 5 semesters, directly. um, so that one was interesting. Learning about English was also it's quite in high demand, and recently it has been a like a general knowledge. For example, like what you mentioned, the Samsung, or even the funny videos like the chair got quite some demand from the people. So for now, I'm still trying to implement like different various stuff, but still related to education. So it's still in the field of education, but I'm trying to do multiple things, and those are some of the thing that I feel like works really well for my content.
Oke, yes. Alright. Oke Kak, thank you so much. Oke Kak, lagi ya Kak. Lanjut.
Yes.
Oke, ada yang nanya nih Kak. Kak pernah kehabisan ide atau bingung gak sih mau bikin kontennya kayak apa? Nah, apa aja sih yang Kak Parama lakukan kalau kehabisan ide?
That's a good question. Kalau kehabisan ide gimana? Kalau kehabisan ide biasanya istirahat dulu, tidur.
Tidur dulu ya Kak ya.
Ya, biasanya kalau kehabisan ide biasanya kita capek gitu kan. Maybe you're tired gitu. But then when I don't have ideas, I would take some like a break for a while, like maybe a day, and then next day I would research more. Because when you have, I think the hardest part is to start research, and the research itself is not as hard, but apa ya, kayak mengumpulkan keinginan gitu loh untuk kita mau research itu paling susah. Jadi when you start it's gonna be okay, but the hardest thing is that you have to be passionate of what you're doing and don't get burned out for too long, because kalau when you're burned out, then you stop doing what you're doing, then you're stop impacting other people, and then the momentum would be gone. That's how I feel.
Oke, so it's okay to take a rest ya Kak ya. It's okay to take a rest a
Yes.
while. It's okay to do research a while. It's just get out with the burnout first berarti ya Kak ya.
Yes.
Alright. Oke. Oke nih Kak. Kak ada yang nanya nih. Kak cara memperlancar public speaking dong Kak kalau buat konten ya. Kan kadang kita kan bingung ya Kak ya. Kita ngerekam aja mungkin berkali-kali gitu. Nah Kak Parama ada challenge kayak gitu gak sih Kak? Kayak
Try to make it like 100% perfect, which is kayak kalau jadi orang yang perfectionist gatal kalau lihat kita ada yang nggak perfect gitu. But anyway, kalau ditanya gimana caranya supaya improve the public speaking, the easiest way would be to do a public speaking multiple times, over and over again. Because I can say, for example, this webinar, this is not my first webinar, this is not my 10th webinar, this is not my 50th webinar. I've been doing webinars for multiple times, more than 100 webinars. And I can say that my first webinar and like my 50th webinar, I improved so much. For example, the way I speak, back then I was really anxious. I was like, sometimes I would pause and think about what I say. But now I speak better and more fluent as compared to my previous public speaking events, for example. And that's the same thing for making contents. Your first video is not gonna be as good as your 50th video. Your 50th video is not gonna be better than your 100th video, for example. Why? Because over the time you would learn more, and you would learn how to speak better, and that's just the thing that you have to embrace, basically. So the secret sauce is just to practice a lot and do it, and accept um, what you have right now, although it's not perfect yet. But if you post it and then you learn from it, and people giving you feedback from it, you will learn more, definitely. That's how I see.
Okay, yes, that's very motivational. Yeah, so actually, yeah, we have to practice and then we have to embrace what we are doing. Like it's okay for now. We're gonna go
Yes,
better later. Okay,
for sure.
Kak. Lagi ya, Kak. Oke. Oke, Kak. What skills should I have to be an influencer, Kak? What skill?
Hmm.
Can you like name maybe like 4 or 5 skills that you think mungkin nih ada di luar sana nih ada yang aku juga pengen nyoba
Hmm.
konten edukasi nih kayak Kak Parama. Do you have any
Okay.
skills that we
What
have to
skills?
learn?
Well, okay, first of all, I would say the most important thing is that public speaking, because if you want to be a video content creator, then one of the most important thing is that you should be able to convey your message to your audience. But know that public speaking doesn't have to be like, let's say, doesn't have to show your face. For example, if you don't want to show your face, then you can make a video without your face. But if you want to, then you should learn how to publicly speak while showing your face as well. So I think that's the most important thing. The second one would be um, more on the technical sides of videography. I mean, when you start, you don't have to have a fancy equipment, but learn how to use your camera would be like really helpful. Even your phone camera. Learn, for example, what's the difference of 30 frame per second and 60 frame per second? Oh, why is this exposure so dark? How to make this video brighter? At least um, you should have some basic knowledge of how to make a representable um, video. But if as what I mentioned, that's okay. Your first video is not gonna be perfect. You just have to start. And then third would be um, some basic equipments. For example, camera, microphone, and maybe some lighting. If let's say you don't have lights, you can make an alternative by having a recording during the day. That would be also helpful. If you don't have a physical camera, you can have a phone camera. If you don't have a microphone, then you can use your phone microphone first. But for now, like this, I'm trying to use an external microphone because the sound quality is better. And I do lots of webinars, so I hope that through this investment, I could give out a better impact and for my audience, for example. So, like what I said, firstly, the public speaking. Second one, the basic knowledge of how to make videos. And third one is equipments. And lastly, it's just to do the action, to do the first step. I think that's the most important thing. If you want to be an influencer, you should do it.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much, Kak. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just you just have to start lah ya, Kak ya. Just start
Yeah,
it first
if you
ya
don't
kan.
start, it's not gonna happen.
Yes. If you're not starting kayak dulu Kak Parama not starting doing videos, then it's not gonna happen right now ya Kak.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Kak. One last questions before we go to interactive session. Okay, hold a second. Okay, Kak, can you share 3 tips to start being impactful online?
Okay, that's good questions. Maybe for the first part would be talk about something that you're really passionate about. So let's say it can be anything, many things, guys. So let's say you're passionate about photography. You like to take pictures, and you want to um, teach people how they do it, like how you do photography and everything. First, one of the biggest thing that people think is that they think that, oh, the knowledge that I know, people already explain it to with other people, so my knowledge is not important. That's what most people think. But if you think that way, you would never start. So you should just start from what you have. Let's say, okay, I know how to take a photo with a phone, and many people likes it. I want to teach people how to make this, and then you teach them, and that actually works. Maybe people like your tutorial and everything. So first, start from the thing that you um, are passionate about, and secondly, always have a good intention. So if you wanna, if you want to become impactful, then you should start with a positive intention and good intention, because people can see whether like these person are genuine or not. Does like this person have a good intention for their audience, or is this person doesn't have a good intention? So like what I said, uh, although on the way when you put yourself out there would always be pushback from like haters, but they're only just like 0.001%. um you should always have a good intention, and as long as you have a good intention, like those haters doesn't matter, because if you are giving a good impact for other people, that's what matters more. You are positively impacting people. And I would say that the third tips would be, if you want to be impactful online, then you just have to start, like what I said previously. Because if you never start, you can't be impactful. Because let's say let's say if I don't agree on something, I only just like complain or on something on the comment section, but nobody would see it. But if you have a voice and if you try to make a content out of it, that would amplify your voice, for example. That's how you can be more impactful online.
All right, thank you so much, Kak. So the first one is be passionate. The second one is be positive, have a good intention, and the third one is to start lah ya Kak ya.
Yes.
All right. Okay, Kak. Now, thank you so much, y'all, for the questions. Very insightful, Kak. Juga very insightful for your answers.
Thank you.
Okay, now we go to the interactive sessions. So for today's interactive session, can you like maybe share your experience on to craft educational contents, like maybe or the struggle that you get and the achievements that you get so far. Like maybe the struggle is, what is your biggest struggle when you are voicing out your voices gitu kan, maybe you, what kind of comments that you get maybe when back then, and then what are the achievements that you get, maybe like video mana sih yang paling gede nih ternyata engagementnya, misalkan kayak gitu Kak. Can you maybe share that first to us so that later you can share these steps to craft a better one to avoid the struggle and get the achievements?
I see. Um, I think one of the biggest struggle of doing content creation is, of course, um, like preparing myself to start making the video itself is the hardest part. Like, as a human, if people said, "Oh, Kak Parama pernah procrastinate gak ya?" Ya, pasti ada mini procrastinate that I always do as well. Kayak, aduh, buat videonya sekarang apa nanti ya? Aduh, nanti sore deh. Nanti mundur jadi malam gitu, for example. Nah, tapi I try to minimize it so that, for example, I try to, this is one of the technique that you can try as well, guys. Kalau mau rekaman konten tuh, you can do batch recording, di mana kamu tuh langsung dalam sekali duduk tuh langsung rekaman 3, 4, 5 video gitu. That way, in just 3 hours, you already have 5 videos, rather than 1 hour just making 1 videos, for example. Because the hardest part is the start, right? But once you start, making the second, third, and the fifth video would be much easier. Kalau misalnya apa lagi ya? Kalau misalnya some other pushback yang I found that quite funny. For example, when I explain people about kayak the how to get rank number 1, many people kayak like what I said, the 99.9% people kayak, oh, thank you so much. This tips would be really helpful. Now I study so much better. I study more efficiently and everything. Tapi misalnya kalau ada yang people, the negative comment would be like, ranking 1 aja kok bangga gitu. Terus ada yang kayak, aku mah juga ranking 1, kayak gini ngapain ini di post gitu. But that's okay. As long as your intention is good. Terus kayak, my question is like, gimana caranya? How can you make a tutorial video of how to get rank number 1 without telling people that you already get rank number 1 gitu? It's basically kan kayak, if you want to teach people how to get a scholarship, then you're telling them, oh, this is how I got the scholarship gitu loh. So as long as your intention is good, like you want to positively impact people, that's okay. And haters is just like 0.0001%. So you don't have to listen to them. And what is more important is that how you can impact the 99.999% people that you could change their life. I think that's more valuable. And then, sorry, what's the other question? Sorry, Kak.
Okay. The other question is, what is the one that you think that your biggest achievements so far in content creation?
Okay. So for the past few months, we have been reaching some of our biggest milestones. So first of all, we just got our silver gold play
Yay!
button.
Congratulations, Kak.
Thank you. So we got our first play button from YouTube, and hopefully we'll get more of them. And for the past month, we've gained more than I think more than 20 million views across platform. So that has been some quite achievement from my team and I, and we hope to amplify that even more, because you just have to keep the momentum going, and if you have a momentum to impact people, then you should maximize that so that you can impact more people than with that.
Okay, yes, I agree. Thank you so much, Kak Parama, for sharing your achievements and your struggles. I hope we all note that. We'll definitely note that one. And congratulations again for your silver plaque. I really hope that you will grow. You will grow a lot, like ya Kak ya, so that we will see you again. Okay, now Kak, thank you so much for sharing. Now we have reached the ending of the sessions. We are very glad that Kak Parama shared this fruitful and insightful topic, very exciting, and also makes us now ready and not afraid to be present academically while being productive online ya Kak ya. Okay, Kak Parama, do you have any closing remarks?
Okay. Well, I like to close my webinar with this one quote, which says like, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you land among the stars." And
Ooh.
this quote explains that if you want to, let's say if you want to dream, you should dream high. Like try to get to the moon.
Mhm.
Even if you don't get to the moon, you'll still land among the stars. You'll see you will still be up there.
Yes.
So one message is that dream big and just try to do it because no matter what, you would still be better than the people who doesn't try at all. That's it.
Right.
Shoot for the moon if you miss, you land among the stars.
Thank you so much, Kak Parama. Yeah. We give you claps here. Okay. Everyone, you have the right to be heard and not to feel afraid to express yourself and to be a good influence for each other as a youth. Kak Parama, thank you very much for thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for
Thank
sharing.
you. Thank you for
And thank you
having me.
everyone for joining us tonight. I'm giving it back the stage to Ara. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kayasmin, and thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope that everyone gained a lot of knowledge and also insights from today's session of Learn from Online Influencer Stars. And we would also like to thank our speaker, Kak Parama, for sharing to us your knowledge and also for inspiring us, and also to Kayasmin for moderating today's session. All right, everyone. For those of you who are interested in attending more of our events, you can visit our website at www.atamerica.or.id. And we are also on our social medias. We've got Instagram, Twitter, and also Facebook at ATAmerica. By following us on our social media, you can gain our event updates, fun content, and so much more. All right, everyone. Now it is time to say goodbye. Again, my name is Genera, and see you soon at the next Ad America event. Good night.